back to another Mindfulness podcast episode. Today I have a fun, special guest. Her name is Joanna Adarna. Oh my gosh, I was
You
trying to
got it.
pronounce her name, the last name. I've been literally speaking with her for like 5 minutes about her last name right now, and I messed it up. Joanna Adarna, and we love her. Great. She's a self-love and confidence coach from Edmonton, Canada, which is so cool. We connected through Instagram. Gotta love Instagram for that. She helps women turn their pain into power and feel strong and confident in themselves. And today we're going to talk so much about self-love, self-worth, like knowing your value in relationships and just not abandoning yourself, staying loyal to yourself. We're going to talk about so much, and I'm so beyond excited. So, Joanna, welcome her to the podcast.
Hi. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me. When we connected last weekend, we totally just clicked. So I'm really excited to talk to you
I
today.
agree. I agree. I feel like when we had our little pre-pod meeting, it turned into just like a FaceTime call. Like I felt
No,
like I was
literally.
FaceTiming a friend.
No, for sure. So I'm really excited for today.
So beyond excited. Okay, so to get right into the nitty gritty, I'm curious because
hmm
you're a self love and confidence coach. So I'm
Yes.
curious so you and I also, like, I love self love. I've really worked on getting myself to the loving mindset and like that kindness that I have for myself. It took me a while to get there. So I'm curious
hmm
what self love used to look like to you before you like kind of knew what you were doing more so. For example, like for me, I feel like validation from others, that external validation was really like, oh, if they like my hair like this, or if they like that I'm doing this, then I love myself too, or I like that about me too because other people like that. And so it was seeking a lot of external validation. And to me, like that was self love. Not that I knew at the time that that is like how I saw that validation as love for myself. But now I can look back on it and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I really seeked out that validation to show myself love. And that is not a reliable source. It's not sustainable. So, what would
Yeah.
you say is something that you used to do kind of for self love in a sense before you knew what you were actually doing?
I think the best way to say it, I used to be boy crazy. I was doing everything, like I can say this now, I was doing everything for the male gaze. And that was what I thought if I got a man's attention, if I received a man's love, that is my validation. But at the end of the day, yeah, it just wasn't what, where I'm at now. And I look at even that whole like 2016 to 2026 trend that's going on right now. 2016 me was super all about the male gaze. We're very different, but I used
Uh-huh.
to seek it in that sense of trying to, I would say even just trying to find like my other half versus
Yeah.
like I knew myself.
Yeah, literally. Or just like another thing I feel like is like changing myself to fit in with other people.
hmm
So it's like I didn't like love myself unless I was like the rest. And that was a huge like step out as well. And I think I honestly
hmm
learned that like after high school. Like to be honest, it took a while. And now I'm like, okay, if I don't fit in
Yep.
to that group, it's just they're just not meant for me. Like those just aren't my people, and that's so valid.
Yeah, I think, like, back in the day, it was so easy to just mold yourself to what was common and not stay, like, authentic to yourself, and that was with friendships, that was with relationships, especially if you meet a guy and you're like, "Oh, he likes" say you don't like hockey. He likes hockey, so you're like, "Oh, I love hockey."
Oh,
And then you start getting into hockey out of nowhere.
yeah,
I
yeah.
say that because I'm Canadian, I do love hockey, which is so funny, which is, like, a weird example, but But, yeah, it's just, like, you molding into something you're not. When it comes to self-love and the relationship with you, you stay
Mhm.
authentic to who you truly are, and then you only, like, bring in people who actually match that energy.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I literally have talked about this on the podcast before, but I have a wallpaper on my iPad and it says
Mhm.
stay aligned in your energy and let people meet you there. And it's a powerful phrase that I have engraved and fully embodied now, because if you think about it,
Mhm.
like, if you are not being yourself to, like, when you're around other people, or you are trying to fit in with a crowd, or, like, you're trying to change yourself so that you can match their persona better, like, you are losing that connection with yourself. You're
Yeah.
telling yourself, like, "I'm not good enough as I am to be with this person, so I have to change the things that I like. I have to change my hobbies to match this person, what they like in their hobbies, because 'cause I'm not good
Mhm.
enough," in a sense, you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
And that's, like, total self-abandonment right there, because 'cause you're telling yourself, I don't like who like, how I am, and to be with this person, I need to be like this rather than who I actually am, and that's not true. Like, that you guys just might not be good for each other, or you might even be good for each other, but you wouldn't know unless you be yourself, and they are their self, and then you find out. You don't find out by being more of them and less of you. You know what I mean?
Sure. I think, I read this thing on how someone can just pretend to be someone for like, for 3 months, and then after 3 months, you're gonna start like, slowly seeing their true colors, and
Ooh.
I've experienced that on the other end, where someone was showing me that he was this really sweet guy, and then after, like, the 3-month mark, it just went downhill because his
Mhm.
true colors were coming out, and he wasn't so patient, he wasn't so kind, and I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
If hey, if anyone is dating someone new right now, give them 3 months to really show their true colors, like, wait a little bit longer to really see
Yeah.
someone.
Or, like, see if that
Because I
love
was fooled.
bombing wears off.
Yes! No, that's exactly it, like, they
Yep.
people can pretend it after the 3-month mark, though, that's when they just naturally can't do it anymore, and then they
Mhm.
will show you your true colors, so
Yeah, like, not being yourself is not sustainable. It's so hard to keep up with not being yourself, whether it's you trying to, like, fit in with and match somebody else's personality, or like you were saying, that person is, love bombing right now, like, they can't keep up with it, and you won't be able to keep up with it either. Like, no person can keep up with not being themselves, because things are gonna start to, like, trigger your true self, and, like, it would be frustrating too, because 'cause you're not being yourself, and, like, nothing's aligning with you, like, nothing will be clear anymore, and I'm speaking just from personal experience, like, what I personally experienced when I realized, like, "You know what? Like, I'm really not aligning with these people, or I'm really not aligning with this, like, career path," or whatever it is, and it's okay too to allow yourself that time to change. So, loving yourself means being open to, like, okay, you know what, listening, like, okay, this isn't really meant for you anymore. Okay, let's
mhm.
change this a little bit. Like, you can change your path, you can change the people that you surround yourself with, but don't change yourself for other people. Don't change yourself for this path.
It's crazy to see some people either shrink themselves to fit somewhere that they're not supposed to.
Mhm.
That makes me really sad because
Yeah.
sometimes people are like, "Oh, maybe I'm just asking for too much. Maybe I
Mhm.
am too much." They believe
Mhm.
these things because this person that they're with or these friends that they have are trying to make them smaller, but
Yeah.
that's not like who they truly are. Like, I
Mhm.
don't know if you ever had this experience because you and I both have such big personalities, but have you ever had
I love
like
that for
you
us.
know this. I love that for us too because 'cause we're authentic, right? But have you ever felt like maybe when you were younger that maybe you were too loud or too much of the life of the party
Oh,
or, like, just too much in
100%.
general?
Yes, 100%. Or
Yeah.
just like I still like, even though like I'd say I'm a pretty confident gal. I would say I really love myself, but I still have moments, even when I'm just talking to like my best friends in the whole world. I will have moments in like our little like group or at our little party or whatever where I'm like, am I speaking too much? Am I being annoying? Like, and I just
Mm,
like, and it's so random. It's not anything that they're doing towards me. It's just like this thought will just come into my head like, am I talking more than usual? Like, whatever
mhm,
it is. And sometimes this happens a lot when I just like start to drink alcohol. like, when I'm with them
Mhm.
and I'm like,
Yep.
am I talking too much? Like, do I sound crazy? Do I sound drunk?" And I'm, like, questioning myself, and these thoughts are coming into my head, and then I just,
Um,
like, let myself, like, let those thoughts pass, like waves in the ocean, just let them go right by, you
yes.
know? And that's, like, but I'm able to do that because I've, like, found this love for myself and this kindness for myself of, "Okay, like, let's not get mad that these thoughts appear. You don't have to, like, believe in these thoughts. You can choose to believe these thoughts or to not." And yeah, like, you can make whatever perspective out of the situation that you want. Like, these thoughts will be coming by. And that is love for yourself right there. In like knowing, like, you know what, not every thought that comes up is mine to keep.
Yes, exactly. That's amazing that you were able to do that for yourself because a lot of people don't. It's like not identifying yourself with that negative thought. So it's like sometimes when we have those insecurities from the past of someone telling us we were too much or we were too loud, they will like unconsciously almost come up with those negative thoughts from the past, and then it's us telling ourselves, but then we have to remind ourselves, where did that, thought originally come from, right? Like, where did that originally come from? It wasn't from me, I never thought that,
Yeah.
I'm just myself. So it's
Yeah.
from other
Yeah.
people telling me that from before, and I've kept that
Yeah.
insecurity, and
Mhm.
then you're able to tell yourself, "Hey, no, like, let this pass, like, you're not being too much. If I am being too much, my friend's gonna tell me."
Yeah.
And if that's not the case, then we're good, because that's when naturally your insecurities can come up and be like, "Oh, like, am I doing this?" But I trust my friends will check me in a way where it's out of love, if that's the case. But if that thought isn't coming true, if they're not telling me that, then it's just in my head.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, if you don't feel like they could be honest with you or be kind to you, and instead they like start talking behind your back, I fear that's not a healthy friendship. But
No.
not the topic for today.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a
that's another
topic
time.
for
That's another
another day.
time. Yeah.
But okay, so we started talking about it a little bit, but what else does self-love look like for you now? So besides we talked a little bit about like thought reframing, about being a good
Yeah.
listener to yourself and how you're feeling and like those thoughts that come by and just like obviously like the thought reframing like I said. But what else to you is like how you show yourself love? What else does self-love mean to you now? Now that you know what it means, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, I think a lot of, something that I'm really learning and focusing on in the last year is self-trust,
Mm,
and kind of is aligning with what my decisions are for my life, what like, the people that I kind of have in my life, and just choosing what aligns with who I truly am, because when it comes to self-love and personal growth, you kinda need to trust yourself to get to an uncomfortable place, and I think, not having self-trust has kept me in fear
mhm.
because I didn't trust myself enough to go, and I've been trying to I think I felt like I needed, like, a leader, especially becoming the life coach that I am now, that I needed someone to guide me through this, because this isn't something you just go to school for and then get into. Like, this is just based off of your life.
Yeah.
So, anywho, just taking this little leap into my career,
Yeah.
I just have to have a lot of self-trust, and self-trust comes, like, with, like, your intuition, the boundaries you have with people, the decisions, and how you choose alignment with who you truly are.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And that kind of ties into what we talked about like last week was having new experiences and going into the unknown and knowing like, okay, I'm going into the unknown right now, but you know what? I have myself. And you could probably relate to this in the sense of like going into your life coach career. When I moved to Australia, another sense, but kind of like can have similar qualities.
Yes.
But I like went into the total unknown. And I was like, I was going to Australia completely by myself, leaving behind like my mom, dad, and brother who are like they mean the world to me. I'm actually really close with my family and I feel so lucky for that. And I was like leaving them for the first time ever and going to Australia where I'm not gonna know who my housemates are. I'm not gonna know the area that I'm in. Like, I'm in another country. Like, it was an insane experience. I was completely going into the unknown. But you know what? I told myself beforehand, like, okay, like I'm doing this regardless. Like, regardless, you're gonna rip off this band-aid and go because all the steps are in place now. You're going. And you know what? It's fine because you have yourself. You are literally there for yourself. Yeah, your family will be on FaceTime, they'll be like texting, whatever. The time change is gonna suck. That's okay because you have yourself. And I did. And that was like a huge, huge thing that showed myself, like, you know what? I can literally go through anything. I can get through, like, I can like have any obstacle come my way and I know that I have myself. Things could go not as they were planned to go, but I know I can go through it because I have myself. Like I can face these unknown circumstances because of myself. And like I'm not saying you have to have these like huge career changing or environmental changing like shifts to show yourself that trust, but just
Mhm.
like having these little like reminders of when you go through an obstacle or reminding of what you've been like remind yourself what you've already gone through in the past and how you've
Mhm.
like come to where you are now. Like you got through that because you like loved
Mhm.
yourself enough to do that. So you can show yourself right now like, you know what? I trust myself to get through this cuz look at all these other things that I've accomplished, that I've gone through, that I've overcome when I once thought that I couldn't. And kind of
Mhm.
reflect on those things that you've done in the past to help you move through your present to your future, you know?
Mhm. No, exactly. That's exactly why building that self-trust, you can literally do anything. You'll become superhuman. It can be as small as someone being like, "I've been wanting to go to the gym,
Yes,
and
exactly.
I" and then start
Yeah,
doing that because a lot of people stop themselves because they get in their head and being like, "Oh, what if this? What if that?" Like, as long as you know you're on your journey and this is what will benefit you over time, then you will do that for yourself because you can do that for
yeah.
yourself.
Yes, and I love that you made that example because that's such like that can be such an intimidating and overwhelming thing to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna start
Mhm.
going to the gym," or "I'm gonna start waking up earlier," or "I'm gonna start
Yeah.
like taking these classes," or like whatever it is. Or I'm gonna start
Mhm.
saying no to things that I don't actually want to be doing. And it's
Mhm.
simple, like not I don't wanna say simple as that, but it's little
No,
things
it
like
is
that
though.
that can make a
Yeah,
big difference.
no.
Really, I don't wanna say simple, but I'll say it's those things that we think are little. We think that they're
Yeah.
little things, but they can make a huge difference.
Mhm. Yeah.
Simply saying no to, like, going out and clubbing when you rather stay home and rest, like, saying no to that is such a huge, like, hard thing to do, and it can seem so
Girl.
little to just be like, "Just say no." Like, "Just say no." But you're like, "But that's so hard." But when you do that and you allow your
Oh my
rest
gosh.
because what you need is the rest, you're gonna feel good. And that's like a simple thing, you know what I mean? What?
No, no, it's funny
Relatable or
because
what?
literally, I'm not even kidding. Last night, my friends invited me to a rave, and this is before we were doing our podcast, and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, like, I'm down." Have it in my calendar, and then my friend was following up with me. He's like, "Hey, like, are we gonna go?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "I actually have a podcast I need to record, like, in the morning, and I cannot be tired for it." So I literally stayed home last
Oh my god.
and I said, "No," and I said, "No."
Oh my god, pop off. It had me feel this
Yeah.
morning.
Oh,
How are you feeling this
amazing.
morning? Yeah.
Amazing, not tired. I knew if I went because I was like, "Okay," in my head, I'm like, "Can I make this work?" And I was like, "I can't. I'm gonna be so tired doing this
Mhm.
podcast, and I really don't I wanna show up for myself for this. Like, I really wanna feel good about how this comes out." So anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, so I did choose myself last night, and my
Yeah.
friends were so, like they're like, "Yeah," like, they're so excited for me to do this, so,
Awesome.
super supportive.
That's
Yeah. So that's
awesome.
so funny
Yeah,
that
see,
you
and those
that
are such good
example.
friends. Those are such good friends.
Amazing.
Well, I love that
They're
for you.
amazing.
That's amazing that
Yeah.
you're able to do that, and then you know what? Like, you know what? You can always go to another rave. Like, you can always go to
Girl,
another rave.
exactly. Exactly. This is an amazing opportunity. So if you ever have an amazing opportunity that makes you feel good and excited, prioritize that over anything like
Yes.
that,
We
like
talked
clubbing,
about
like going
this
out
too,
because
is like saying yes to new to opportunities. And I think that is like a kind of a beautiful thing to like show yourself love is saying yes. And I talked about this, like I've had this conversation with my therapist in the sense of like I never buy myself things really. Like the most that my money goes towards is like concerts and books. And that's, like, pretty much it, but if I'm, like, walking through the store and I'm like, "Oh, that's, like, a cute necklace," or, "Oh, I like that shirt," I just keep walking and I don't get myself it. And my therapist is like, "Mia, you need to, like, start saying yes to yourself more." Or it got to the point where I'd be like, I wanna go get a coffee, but no, I don't wanna spend the money, whatever." And my therapist is like, "Mia,
Mhm.
like, it's only like $5. Like, just get yourself the coffee. Like, get yourself that shirt. Like, you are financially stable enough to allow yourself to say yes to these things. So allow yourself that.
Mhm.
And so I've been saying yes to myself a lot more often. Like, I went to Target with my friends. I saw this little shark stuffed animal, so I got it because he's
Cute.
so cute. And I just
Cute.
like
Yes.
say yes to myself so much more often, and it's like it's such
Good.
a beautiful like small task that can do
Mhm.
so much.
Sure. I think, do you know, like, the 5 love languages?
Yeah, by heart. I'm not like touch, gift giving,
Yep. Acts of service,
or I guess
words
there's
of
yeah,
affirmation,
acts of service, affirmation,
and quality quality time.
quality time. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. So, when it comes to the relationship with self-love,
Mhm.
and the 5 love languages, I always tell people to connect those things. And gift giving obviously is one of them. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, your therapist is right. You should be able to treat yourself. Like that is showing an act of love to yourself,
Yeah.
but that is one of the languages, you know?
Yes, and that
You
like
can
totally ties in. So sorry, what were you gonna say?
yeah, oh, yeah. No, you're good. No, like, and you can kind of look at the other ones being like, okay, words of affirmation. You're telling this is where you have positive self-talk and this is how you tell yourself, I am beautiful, I am kind, I am
Mhm.
confident.
Yeah.
Right? And then quality time is just solo time by yourself. Acts of service is the things that you do for yourself that helps the relationship with yourself.
Mhm.
And then physical touch, that can be in different ways. It can be a self hug.
LOL.
We're adults here, but it can be a little hug.
Get creative.
Not creative, but there are ways. There
That's
are
so funny.
ways.
Yeah, yeah, no.
You see what
But
I
that,
mean?
like that
You see what I
totally
mean?
yeah, yeah, that totally ties in that the way I view, like, the relationship with myself is, like, how you would treat your friend or someone that you love. Like, you love your friends, right? So, like, how would you treat your friends? If they are, like, having a day where they're feeling sad or maybe more insecure, you're gonna hype them up, right? Or if they're having a day where and that's, like, affirmations right there, like, you're giving them those words of affirmations like, no, you're beautiful or you're smart or you got this. Like, if anyone can do it, you can. You're hyping them up because you know they're feeling insecure. Or if they're like feeling sad one day or whatever, maybe you buy them their coffee or you know they've been having a harder time. So you buy them a coffee or you just buy them a coffee just because they're your friend and you
Mhm.
love them, you know? And that is like
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
gifts, you know? Or like just
Yeah.
whatever it is. My friends and I will go grocery shopping together or I literally, that's service, right? Like there's like acts of service. My friend came with me to get gas the other day and then I dropped her back off at her house. Like it was simply just being there together and just having that person with me and she like did that for me. She was like, "Yeah, I'll come with." Like I
Mhm.
just woke up, but I'll come with. I'm like, "Okay, great." And that's like so kind. And so
Oh.
do that to yourself too, like the same way that you treat these relationships with your friends and like these people that you love. Give yourself that same
Mhm.
love and attention and energy just like you do them. I literally will see a bouquet of flowers now and be like, "Oh, that's so cute." And then I'll just get them for myself because they're adorable. And like I know when I have a boyfriend, I want him to just like buy me just because flowers. So while I don't have a boyfriend right now, let me do that for myself because I can. Because I literally have free will to do that.
Yes, girl, I love that, and a lot of girls need to know this. A lot of girls need to know this, is you set the standard by how you love yourself and how you show up for yourself, and you will
Mhm.
weed out so many people
Oh,
if
I
you do
agree.
that.
I agree.
Yeah, if you focus on that, you will weed
Yep.
out so many people, especially the ones that won't show up for you the same. You're like, ugh, like, you will get the ick. And especially if there's someone that they can't show up for themselves, you're gonna be like, no, like they are not my type. And that is the
Yep.
difference between 2016 me being like, oh, a man's giving me attention, period, to I want the world. I can give myself the world right now.
No, literally. I saw posts on Instagram that said something along the lines of like a man won't be fighting with other men for me. He'll be fighting with the peaceful life that I've created for myself. And I'm like, yes. Yes. Preach. Because yeah, as you should create that peaceful life for yourself and then let a man be an addition
1,000,000%.
to that, which is another thing I wanted to yap about is
Yes.
self love while maintaining that relationship with yourself. Stay loyal to yourself even when you are in a relationship with somebody else. Even when you're dating someone, like show yourself that love. They don't replace that love that you give yourself. They only add to the love that you deserve. You know, like you still give yourself that self love. You still show yourself love in all the ways that you show yourself love or that you like to show yourself love, whatever, but then also let him just be an addition. He doesn't become that love. He just adds to it. Simply. Like he just adds to it. He's only an addition. He's only
Mhm.
another joyful part of your life. And we talked about this, the puzzle piece analogy is what I shall call it, the puzzle piece analogy, where